Trump is going to be president in 28, and people just ought to get accommodated with that.
So what about the 22nd Amendment?
There's many different alternatives. At the appropriate time, we'll lay out what the plan is, but there's a plan. We had longer odds in 16 and longer odds in 24 than we got in 28. And President Trump will be the president of the United States, and the country needs him to be president of the United States. We have to finish what we started. Trump is a vehicle. I know this will drive you guys crazy, but he's a vehicle of divine providence.
There's a reason that fascist regimes always lock into the dominant religion of the country and start to use religious language and image and symbols. And James Tallarico said it best, because there's nothing more dangerous than a tyrant who believes that they're on a mission from God. And if we look at both church history and world history, people have used the certainty of God being on my side as an excuse to exterminate their enemies. When the Trinitarians took over the Christian doctrine at the Council of Nicaea, deciding that the Trinity would be the new belief for the Christian religion as a whole, they use it as an excuse not to just define Arianist beliefs and Gnostic beliefs as heresy, but to actually physically kill them. Because when you believe that your mission is of God, or you can convince people that it is, it gives you the excuse to say, well, if you don't support me, then you're against God. Therefore, I have the right to enact violence against you, which is what we saw with all of the inquisitions. We have to understand that they are planning to overthrow the Constitution. They are planning to completely negate it. They are planning to use emergency powers to disrupt the elections, because they know they cannot continue to win fairly. They have been open and honest about this, and we should absolutely believe them. And it's important to note that after the Reichstag fire in Germany, Hitler used emergency powers to suspend civil liberties, the freedom of the press, the freedom to protest, and things like due process. It allowed for indefinite detention without being charged of an offense. And they were able to use those emergency powers to proclaim that they were trying to save the country, save elections, protect law and order, even though many historians argue that the Nazis started the Reichstag fire. But they used Article 48 within the Weimar Constitution to enact these emergency powers, which allowed them to take rights away from the people. And by the time the 1933 election showed up, there was no free and fair elections. It was manipulated by fear and propaganda, and Hitler had complete control of the entire government. And because of the Enabling Act, was able to pass laws without Parliament, without any other steps than the fact that he and his cohorts wanted to pass it. Do not allow yourself to fall into the trap that the right is stupid. Some of them are heavily indoctrinated, but their leadership in particular is not stupid. They are smart, they are calculated. And while we have allowed ourselves to get baited into culture wars, while we have allowed ourselves to get baited into distractions, they have been laser focused, and they've been able to overturn Roe and remove equal opportunity in the workforce and education. They've been able to start to build the fascist world that they want to live in. They've been able to take rights away from women, civil rights, gutting the Civil Rights Act, and now they're coming for the Constitution. Understand that they are telling you exactly who they are, and they are efficient enough to get it done. If we want to be activists and we want to fight back and we want to turn this ship around, buckle up for the long haul. This is going to take years and decades of correction to fix. Do not